So this question comes into mind every sadhak. This question will pop up every now and then. Whether I am progressing. This comes. Now this is a difficult question. But the answer is very simple. First is what are the signs, we can say signs, how to understand this, how to make oneself sure of it. That in heart, peace will settle. Level of clarity will be more in every respect. So two words like correctness and balance, these are very deep words. So it cannot be told that what now you will come to the correct decisions. You will move in the correctness more and more. So peace comes with purity. Purity increases, peace will increase. Now, having said that, these are the signs. So this difference need to be understood properly. These are vis-a-vis world. Other thing will happen is that restlessness, longing, that will increase. When I am saying peace will increase and this will sounds contradictory, it is not so. Peace in terms of world. Whatever we are doing, now people just suppose you little bit more wisdom downs upon, then what will happen? You may feel, oh, this some reflection will come, this I did not do correct. So what will happen if you are nestling more and more in divinity, then you just correct it. You will not blame yourself or have some kind of guilt because that is past. So that is the peace I am saying about, that you will not be agitated about it, what happened in the past, because that is vis-a-vis world. But this restlessness, longing, this will increase. This is vis-a-vis divinity. Then because now you are more sure that I have some destination to reach. So these two contradictory things, they are not at all contradictory in divinity. So these are the signs of progress, that I am moving in correct direction. This is how it should be understood. Now, why this? Generally, people say, no, this mind troubles a lot. It is not so. If there is no ego, mind will not trouble at all. Have you pondered over it? Mind is not a problem if it is not aligned with ego. Suppose an idea is wavering in your head, but you have nothing to do with it. Then will you be perturbed about it? Once you attach yourself with it, that this is I am the cause, or it is in me, or it is my idea, or I put it forward, and if it goes here and there, then I am that, ownership is there. So that is because of the ego. So this otherwise why it is there? Because this mind, as we say, mind, ego, intelligence, these are all part of the chitta. And what is the chit? It is ultimately consciousness which is operating, which we call in Sanskrit Mahat, all which is there. So it comes from that. Because of that, so that will be that way only. This is coming the ultimate consciousness because it is everywhere. So we attach with that, and since we are not reaching to that perfection, then this becomes perturbed. So what to do? What can we do about this ego? So it is said that this should be given only to the eternity. How it can be given to eternity? That is what the important question is. When we say here in our path, we focus only on the ultimate, nothing less. We don't want anything. Whatever is happening with us, happening because of our karmas, prarabdha, whatever, Just because we are moving towards that, they keep refining. Things will be less. Otherwise, it will be more, it will be less. So we are moving in that direction. But we are not asking any material thing. We are not, we just want to know what will we ask for anything when we do not know who we are. Who is going to ask? So first here is who I am. So we say no, that who else I can be other than the ultimate. So we focus on that. So this is not an ego. This also need to be seen in my right perspective. Because we are aiming to the highest. That means we are aiming very clearly with open eyes to the highest. That highest should manifest in us. Because we are seeing that within. So where will we see? Are we going to see somewhere outside? No, it has to manifest within us. So that should not be a cause that no, this is an ego. This is not an ego. This is the reality. Are you? If you see it other way around, that you are trying to see no. Though I have set a very high goal, I don't want to attain it. Then it is a problem. No, we have set a goal and we want to reach it as soon as possible. So that should be seen in right direction. Now, when this worldly things, on the one hand, when we peace settle in vis-a-vis these worldly things, and restlessness goes in that direction, then we are moving. So these three things are important. That is why I keep on referring to that article I wrote. That is the key to understand the world. That one article is more than sufficient for what all written in all the scriptures. It is very simple but very clear for a man to follow. If you go for expansion, there are unlimited shastras. You keep doing, but for a human being to understand it, that how to follow, how to get to that laya. So that is sufficient. So that is a kind of alignment. That how to align oneself, because it all is infinite. So all in that direction to move, these three things we have to understand very clearly, because the whole which we are saying Mahat, or which we are saying the creator, that can be perceived with these physical eyes. We can. It is not possible because it is unlimited. These have limited vision. So we are making in meditation our senses normal. If the senses become perfectly normal, then they will do their perfect work. When they will do their perfect work, they will almost cease to be, despite being there. Then they become conduit of the divinity. So as that keep happening, as our whatever impressions are there about past, they keep going away, they are cleared, and we do not incur new, then we become conduit to that work. That is how, as that expansion happens, as the normal senses become normal, then only we understand what the expansion is, because it is being one with what is there. So these three things are there, that there should be, once we have moved on a path, progress is, it is one way only, so it has to happen, but how to oneself, how to come to that kind of understanding, or how to pacify oneself or encourage oneself by seeing it clearly. So this is the way. So we should see in that direction, that whether that kind of thing is happening with us. And then I have told certain things like writing about yourself. That is important. So all these things, then we have satsang, anything, any question comes, because then we move, then only anything we face, that this is where it is troubling me, then that is cleared, then we move ahead. So ultimately, these are all conditions, they keep coming one by one. In the peace, there are so many conditions, they keep coming, you experience for some time, then you move on. Sometime it will stay there, then you move on. And that is how it keeps happening.
The first thing you said was peace in the heart.
Hmm.
I understand peace in the mind. How do we differentiate between Peace in the heart and mind.
Peace in the heart is that you will not, guilt will not be there. Peace in the mind if you've done in your understanding something correctly. Then you will feel peace in the mind. If you think you have not done it correctly, you will not feel peace in the mind. But heart, in that is not the case in heart. Because either ways it is an illusion and past what has happened. Only thing, if you are moving in the direction of wisdom, you say, oh no, something wrong happened, then I will not do it. So resolve. Or something right happened, I will repeat it. So that is the difference. Is it clear? Because when we say heart, we are speaking of something very voluminous. There is this individual heart and expansion happens, then it becomes bigger. Suppose somebody's heart is so big that it can accommodate so many hearts. So we are speaking something phenomenal. Because ultimately, where is the heart is the place of divinity seat. Prakriti par prabhu sab urvasi. Beyond, if you cross your nature, then God is nascent in every heart. And how is he? Paramananda Viraj Avinasi. How is he? He is always in bliss. No impression there. Good and bad comes when there is some impression. There is no impression. Avinasi is endless. So that place we are speaking, which God has gifted everyone.
You said going beyond one's nature. How do we understand that?
Nature, yes. So nature is what, how to make it simple, is what you need. Limiting oneself to that. What is needed. And minimizing wants. So needs are to be fulfilled by God even. Needs are this the way nature has been divided, the creation is everybody's needs should be fulfilled. But wants, we should have a check. That is what called normal, maybe moving towards normalization. So that only if we are focused that way, that where are the needs, and we are limiting ourselves to that, then we will slowly automatically understand what the nature is. It will be revealed inside that this is how it is subtle, it will be revealed. Outside, I can say, suppose you are made of this Ashtadha Prakriti, 5 elements, you all know, 3 more, Man, Buddhi, Ahankar. These are your Sukshma Sharir, which we call subtle body. All this, these 3 do not need these 5 once you cross. So if your senses have become so normal, so they have become in that mode that they will need minimum as much as your body is or how much you survive, that things will be there. And your mind will become one with the Mahattat, which we call ego with the eternity. And intelligence almost cease to function. It sounds contradictory, but it is so. Because intelligence is needed to discern a thing. And when discernment is not needed, because you are moving by your heart, so it will be minimal for life to function. Otherwise, right and wrong will keep happening, and then you are entangling yourself. Because we ultimately say that all are brothers and sisters, means what we are saying a very big thing, that this is a whole human family. But we have become so gross that we do not function that way. So nature means becoming one with your needs. And more you move towards divinity, the needs also become less and less. So when they come to a certain threshold point, so to say, then you become capable of serving others. Otherwise, you cannot serve. Suppose one is engaged in maintaining oneself in so many hours. How can it give any time to others? So that way, same way, needs become less and less, then we become capable of others to help the same thing to others, so that they also attain. No, there is a way. This can be attained this way. This is the whole thing, that people all should aim at the ultimate. People have started aiming for lower things. Somebody following some Devi Devata, somebody is following some material goal. Unless there is, for this nobody would say no of God of any religion. Will they say my God is not the ultimate? Howsoever small a thing be, they'll say mine is the ultimate. So that's what we are saying, to all aim for the ultimate. Now if you say my ultimate is also small, then it doesn't make any sense. So I'm saying people are aiming for low. They are making their mark very low. There's somebody, I do not know, somebody, Nelson Mandela, he had said this. Problem is that people are scared to admit that is how big they are. Problem is not that how small people are, they are scared to admit how big they are. And that was a very sensible statement. Came out of so much struggle and punishment and jail and all. He could say this much. That speaks of the how immensity of human experience. And all else, look what is there in life. Howsoever fillily rich, why they say filthy rich, I do not know. The attachment comes, no, the word is filthy rich. So something, with some sense is there. so, but very same things you will do with the lower, poor person. What can you do except how elevated your mind is? Nothing else is there, the difference. But if your mind is elevated, then you are very rich. So, to make it simpler, people say if you can always remain in higher conscious, automatically you will move towards divinity. That is also there. You don't let yourself come down. Whatever ideas are, roam into higher ideas. Don't come down. Always have in dialogue with who is stopping. Keep your dialogue with the most evolved people. It is your mind. Nobody knows whom you are in dialogue with. Why to come to any Tom, Dick and Harry? You be in your class. Whatever is happening around you, don't do a thing, whatever is needed, and always roam in good. So that is also a sadhana. Means if cannot do anything, that is why we say. That is why we say what is the role of the Guru. Because we do not know the whole. So we catch hold of a symbol. No, anything goes here and there, then that I know. Here from everything will come in line. So that is a kind of alignment. As associate or disciple, we are looking for alignment with the ultimate. And Guru is that alignment point, where we reference point from that side and this side. That is how it is. It is simple. Only thing is we need to be sincere. Because you are not looking anything outward. Here in this culture, people sat and they saw everything outside, inside. Then they realized the futility of looking from outside. Over the period of time, this art got lost. I am saying art. This art got lost because this art requires character. Without character, you cannot uphold it. Other arts do not require that. This requires character. So they could not hold it. And then they got confused whether it is a hearsay, whether it is real, or it is just hogwash. So that is why they did not go for material development and all, because when they saw everything inside, then they say it is useless. Why should I do all this? So, and it is amenable to all. In this material way of going for things, you have to give them outside. You have to work hard and you have to attain one by one, and then they make the system. Here there was nothing required. You only said, you just sit one place, can you? And become yourself, because everything is within you. So it is simple. Only thing is required is clarity and that thirst. The thirst, if the moment it is there, because this is most miraculous thing. If anyone, you can, whosoever, even if somebody has any doubt, you can say, if you are a real seeker, just sit in your home. Somebody will come to guide you. You need to be a real seeker. Here it is like that, the well will go to the thirsty. It is 100% today also, that is there. This I can say. You can also say the same thing to him. Only if you have a real thirst. If you can follow your thirst, it will happen. So what more proof people want? They want evidence and all. This is the evidence. It is not for giving any chamatkar or something. It is what you want. If that you are really in need, it will come. What is can be more miraculous than this? And how apt it is when I am saying it is need based. If you create the need, it will come. So that is how it is. So once people are start moving in that direction, then they will understand this also properly.
Mind always wavers, correct? So how do we overcome that?
For that only we sit in meditation. For that only we follow those principles, 5 principles. What we say, if we do that, what we do, accordingly our mind will also align with that. But as such, mind is not a trouble. Without ego, it cannot run for very long.
Once you become aligned with the oneself,
Yeah.
the ego will go and mind will
Right ego. Ego you need,
Yeah.
but it has to be right ego. Without ego, you can't function. All what is there, all is needed. You cannot remove anything. What all you can remove is misunderstanding. What you can remove is ignorance, because it is not there. Ignorance means something which is not there and you are thinking that it is there. See, there are in Sanskrit, because this spirituality, it is suits in comes in the Hindi, Sanskrit, that kind of language only. Sanskrit, I would say. There is two things: tat and tat or satya, fact and truth. Something which is factual may not be true. And when we are talking that way, generally we say both of the things in one being, which is not the case. So this you are appearing to be here, but I am saying in reality you are not here. This is what you are appearing to be. Why I am saying so? Because it will not last forever. Only your subtle body will last. So you have to understand that how is that subtle body's alignment with your whatever you are considering yourself. You consider this is my mind, no, but mind, he says I am very clear, I am nothing. If you make me nothing, then I am nothing. If you want to make me anything, I become that. If you think of hunger, then I make you hungry. That way. So it is like mix, you can say mixed state. Whether mind is telling that you are hungry, or you are making you are hungry, that is why you are utilizing your mind to look for food. So if both are clear, moving towards clarity, mind is also becoming clear, your sense is also becoming clear when you need food. That is limited, that this is the time I need food. Other time it is selling, then is no, it is not correct. Something is wrong with you. Why are you telling me at the wrong time? Generally I eat at this time. So either it has to give you the correct reason that this is the reason, and if it satisfies to your intelligence, then you will do it. Otherwise you will not do it. So this kind of alignment has to come. Needs has to become clear that these are needs. Tools to recognize them, perception has to become clear that this is it. Make it this way. We say regulate and moderate. Make it at that. And then you are free from that for some time. So that, like we are sitting now. For some time you have taken food, taken bath, everything fine. Some time you can sit. No, nothing is troubling you. That way, if that becomes some kind of more regulated, that it almost falls off despite being there. If your Sukshma Sharir, subtle body, becomes so powerful that it is no more bothering you, this means it cannot do anything, what you outer body, it cannot influence that subtle. That if willing can influence it, but this says become incapable. Abhi it is happening reverse. This is overpowering that. If this is trouble, then that is forgotten. Because impressions, attachment with this is so much. So when I am saying you, I am saying this is not permanent you. So become in alignment of permanent you. And permanent you and I are not different. Ultimately, they are only one. So we are moving in that direction. So that alignment we keep doing. So then this turmoil of mind and all become less and less, because when it is moving in the right direction, it will become less. It is not one tablet panacea that if you take it, it will be like this. No, it can be told move in this direction. Continuous process. And see, that's why I say keep documenting so that you see your progress. This is happening. Otherwise, you are left to the whims and fancies of your mind. Someday it's some very hard impression comes and it say, "Hey, तुम बेकारी कर रहा था, इसमें तो कुछ नहीं था." Then you are gone for a toss. So every time I say, please write, please see your own track, what is happening. Because this is how the push of pull of Maya is very troublesome. Even the highly attained persons, they have fallen. That is why Ramayana and Mahabharata is called history. I do not want to give them an even time frame. They are eternal. Anytime they will be relevant because they nothing to do with anything. It is telling human nature. That is how you behave. That is how the human nature is. Every character in Mahabharata represents a psychological bent of mind.
State of mind.
Ha,
Or different types of mind.
this is how mind operates. This is how things operate. Tendencies go. How such a person will tend to behave.
You can say what is ego, what is this.
Different even conditions. The more you see, it is that's why it is infinite. More deep you go, you see everywhere some different thing. It is with our evolution that you see it. There is in any scripture they say why they give that value, because you see with somebody's vision. Like as a Krishna says in Gita, now Arjuna asks, "Can I see your big form, universal form?" Then he said, yes, you see. Then he said, oh, but you cannot see with these eyes. I have to give you the vision first. Then only you can see. So, any scripture, it is not that anybody can, of course, you can, you have intelligence, can interpret, but how to see it. That the more we keep evolving, then more we keep seeing what is there. Otherwise, there will be of not much use to us. So in the beginning, they are told that you read that you at least read good things. So I used to say, no, if you read a good book, that is also okay. But these are infinite things where you go deep and deep in the sea.
So what you're saying is once your core becomes aligned to the divinity,
Ah.
the mind will align.
Yes. It should be practical. That's what I'm saying. One should not be afraid of it. Because character means courage. It is about you. You got one life. And how to make best use of it. One should keep wondering over this. How to make best use of one's life. Otherwise, what happening is generally people say, okay, jaisa chal raha hai, the way it is going, let it move, keep going. Whatever happens next, we will see next. And that is why they keep roaming into these two conditions. They do not reach to the seeking position. Seeker means he's all the time looking what for this is. Has it any meaning? Why it is there? What for it is there? All kind of question about one's identity, one should question. Who am I? Isn't it? Then only we leave that footprint. So our children will question and they'll go in correct direction. If we go right path, those who are with us, they will also go on the right path. So tell them, that's why I say it is very practical. Tell them that yes, artha, dharma, kama, moksha, that is the way it is. You to survive, you need some alignment with the economic system. Then only you can do, otherwise you can't sit. Yes, but that is the limit. But if you, from the childhood, you are teaching them, no, money is everything, then that is what you have taught them. And later on, that will be reflected. What is their mistake? Are we not party to that? We have to tell them rightly that this much is important. Yes, it is important. Without it, you can't do anything. That is why it has been placed on the first Arth, Dharma, Kam, Moksha. If you do not have alignment with the economic system, you can't do this. But that is the limit. It was second then, there onwards. What is Dharma? Duty. Dharma is duty. Then you look for it. What is duty? Then there onwards, your seeking should be there. It's a continuous process. Today, I think that statement Nelson Mandela made. I was just thinking, look how correctly he has put it. That is everywhere. It is almost a spiritual statement. Like people are scared to admit how big they are, because that puts them in trouble. It requires courage. So they run away and make themselves.
So they aim small.
Yes, simply because they do not want to take responsibility. It needs courage. It is like throwing oneself in a sea without knowing how to swim. But that is where the thing is. So Kabir says that in different words, जिन खोजा तिन पाइया गहरे पानी पैठ मैं बपुरा बूढ़न डरा रहा किनारे बैठ. जिन खोजा, those who sought, तिन पाइया, they got, गहरे पानी पैठ, they went deep inside. और मैं, this I, बपुरा बूढ़न डरा, that I don't know, I will sink. So रहा किनारे बैठ, I sat on the bank, I could not go. So thing is all the time same. From Vedic period to Upanishad, Aranya, all everywhere to Vivekananda. He also says, Uttist Prabharanyam, which is what? It is a Upanishad statement. Rise, awaken, stop not till you receive, till you get. So that is basically which people do not understand, or understand and don't want to tell. It is all about courage. It is not for timid heart. Seeking is for the lions, because you never know where will you go. It is immense. Where your duty lay, what role you have to play, because you are becoming conduit to the ultimate. All meanings, all which people, because they did not have courage, they found it easier to align people the way they were living. So they started giving small meanings, like sacrifice. Sacrifice is not killing some animal or somebody. Sacrifice is this, that you have given yourself up to the ultimate. Nothing is of yours. It is living sacrifice every moment. That is not one cruel act you did away with somebody's life and you said, I have sacrificed. It's nonsense. But it is I'm saying it is very sweet and satisfying. Moving towards that direction, that is why people go. Otherwise, you will not go.